お、セミ5本でスイマーマーに見えないままスカミーパンとかどっせかもすわるからさ。あー、お、セミ5本でスイマーマーに見えないままスカミーパンとかどっせかもすわるからさ。あー、お、セミ5本でスイマーマーに見えないままスカミーパンとかどっせかもすわるからさ。あー。
Alright, welcome to Auckland, New Zealand. I recently spent 10 days in New Zealand and got it started by playing some Mario. Anyways, it was nice flying here. I was in first class, so I got to sleep on the plane and showed up with almost zero jet lag. Except flying from America, you show up 2 days after you leave, so you lose an entire day. Next, I went up into the tallest tower in New Zealand.
Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here.
You foolin', we not new to it, we kinda fluid. House game on the wood, my cup filled with mud, I came out the hood. Sometimes against the needle, I'ma get all my problems above. Hate when people be doing too much, keep it real, the street show you no love.
Then I flew to Christchurch and rented a car and drove to this alpaca farm. And tried to get them to hang out with me, but they weren't really having it.
I know he has it.
I kept trying to pet them, but they kept turning away. This one let me pet it, so that was nice. All 4 of these ended up walking away from me, so that was kind of embarrassing. Then I saw this alpaca with its little baby, which was really adorable. And then I got a bowl of food, and they just loved me all of a sudden, so I got some cool pictures with them, and they ate out of my hands. Alright, so this is our Jimny. It's our car, and we're driving it through New Zealand. That car was ridiculous. It was like a small Jeep, and the wind would blow it around like crazy. But this spot was amazing. What an epic view. It was a great place to watch the sunset and take in the views. I got the camera out, took some amazing
on the
pictures.
Inside.
This is actually insane. So this is the adventure portion of our trip, and right now we're in Christchurch getting ready to go, and this is the botanical garden. This entire town was destroyed. It's more of a city actually. It was destroyed in an earthquake in 2011. And it's so beautiful now. They rebuilt it. All the buildings look so modern. Anyways, here's an example of the Jimny getting blown around like crazy. I was constantly having to fight it against the wind. So our big goal was to see the wildflowers, and we achieved that. So we timed our trip perfectly with the lupines and all the other flowers that were blooming. This is kind of funny, right? And it was incredible, but one thing that's interesting is that these are actually invasive to New Zealand. This is Lake Tekapo, and it's known for having these beautiful flowers around it. And we just spent 2 days here checking out all the flowers and the views.
Yeah.
This is so amazing. Wow. This is so amazing. Here in New Zealand, sunset, lupine flowers. It can't get any better than this. Wow. I'm just in awe. This is so cool. Here's the amazing flowers. What's crazy is the water is just so blue. New Zealand is one of the furthest south places in the world. It's actually the furthest south that I've been. And because the days are so long, the sunsets take a long time as well, so you get a lot of time to take those beautiful sunset pictures. Amazing. This is the next day, and this is Lake Pukaki. What an amazing place to be. A little bit further south, and the blue lake was just incredible. The color is so pretty. It's a glacial lake, and you see the peak way in the back. We ended up going there later on, Mount Cook. Being here felt like being in a movie, and this shot definitely does it justice. This is the drive to Mount Cook, and it's an iconic spot where you could take a beautiful picture of the road leading up to the peak. This is the visitor center up there. It was a really interesting interior design. And then we went and did a hike. That's Mount Cook in the background. And this was just a little hike to an overlook, and then we went back, got lunch, had a beer. First, we saw this incredible family of ducks. Not sure what kind of bird this is, but it was amazing. Beer with a view. And then we went up and did a pretty difficult hike. Over 3,000 feet of elevation, almost all stairs. It was not easy. We did this hike as the sun was setting, and our goal was to get a beautiful view at the top of Mount Cook. So many stairs. Every now and then we could hear rumbling in the background, and those were actually avalanches or glaciers that were calving off the mountain back to the left that you see there.
Through icy streams that took my breath away, moving slowly through westward water over glacial plains, and I walked off you, and I walked off an old me. Oh me, oh my, I thought it was a dream, so it seemed. And now break deep by me.
That wraps up this hike, and on the way back we stopped and looked at the stars. It's a different night sky in the southern hemisphere than what I'm used to. Then the next day we drove to Lake Wanaka and checked out the iconic Wanaka tree, which had this bird perfectly on the branch. So I got some amazing pictures of that. Then we decided to hike up to the top of Roy's Peak, which was another 4,000 feet of elevation gain. On the way up, there were a lot of sheep, which was really fun. And it was a difficult hike. We were in a race against time because we started a little bit late. But we made it up in time for the sunset and the golden hour. And there's me running out to the viewpoint for my picture. So I'm standing way in the back at this iconic spot. It was so beautiful to stand there and just take in the views, to enjoy this amazing world that we're a part of. I went out there a couple of times. Here's me filming the walkout. To the left, it was beautiful, just the sun rays hitting all the ridge lines. I did this hike with just a t-shirt, and I should have brought a jacket. I ended up getting really cold, but it was amazing. This afterglow was so pretty. So beautiful. Then we sent it on a day trip to the Milford Sound, which is further south, and it's very similar to Norway. So here you can find fjords, so mountains that extend into the ocean. Wow, this is amazing. I'm in the Milford Sound in New Zealand, really far south in the world, and it's just incredible out here. These are the fjords. They look just like the Norwegian fjords. There were so many little airplanes taking off and boats with tourists just to get a better view inside of the fjords. But we didn't plan ahead at all, so all we could really do was go to the waterfront, but that was amazing enough. I just love the peacefulness of the ocean. Then we decided to look for a little swing that somebody had set up. Turns out it had broken and was attached in a really janky way. You could still sort of swing on it, but not really. Oh, what were these birds? Were those kiwis? We thought they were kiwis, but we don't know. Here's that swing that barely worked, but it was still fun. This was like a 5-hour drive or something insane like that, and we did both directions in the same day. Maybe it was 4 hours. On the way back to Queenstown, which is where we were staying, there was this crazy sun ray. I forget what they're called. Sun ray? That was insane. Oh my god. A sun circle. Maybe a sun circle. Then we went to an onsen spa. Cheers. And saw the stars, which was so beautiful. And then we got up at 4 in the morning, maybe 5, to catch the sunrise. This is Mirror Lake because it has 2 almost identical halves. One thing that struck me about this area, and actually all of New Zealand, was the sheer amount of birds. It's so beautiful to hear all the birds chirping all the time. This hike was incredibly steep and difficult, another 1,000+ feet of elevation. And up there, it was like being in a movie. I thought this was so epic. The lighting was so cool. If you listen here, you can hear all the birds. Anyways, then we flew back to Auckland, and in the next video you'll see the Hobbiton, so subscribe and stay tuned for the next adventure.